Hello to all my wonderful and beautiful students, class, subscribers, and family members. What is a balance transfer, and does that make sense to do velocity banking with, Denzel? Is that a good option, buddy? Let's look into this. Let's direct our attention to the board and handle this one. So we already made our conclusion that cash advances are like the worst of the worst. Okay, that's a trap. We sprung the trap. Okay, let's see if this one is a trap as well. So, a balance transfer is an alternative way, basically like debt consolidation. Okay, where you're using a credit card to move debt to another credit card. And the idea, the reason why this seems attractive, okay, is have you ever received, all those offers in the mail? Hey, transfer all your debt to us at 0% interest and you're debt free. All this stuff, right? Get a bunch of those all the time coming at me. I'm sure you have as well. Capital One, Bank of America, Chase, Wells, Citi, Credit One, Premier, First Bank, all of them. There's a bunch of different companies that offer balance transfers. So it's an alternative way. And the idea, if you were to do it successfully, you want to be able to transfer debt to a lower interest credit card or even a 0% interest credit card for a period of time. All right? So what would make me say yes to your financial situation when we're looking at the numbers, figuring out if that makes sense temporarily to do a balance transfer? I will say this, I've done one case so far, only one, where it did make sense to do a balance transfer temporarily. Some things to understand, some things to know is that there is a cost of doing this. Anywhere from 3 to 5% is usually the fee to transfer whatever you owe on the first credit card to the next credit card. Okay, the purpose is to save interest, save you money, kind of buy you some time. Okay, so think of a balance transfer simply a way to buy you time, okay, and potentially increase our cash flow. Okay, the idea is you want to transfer from a high interest to a low. We already went over that. Or preferably a 0. I like the 0 ones. Here's an example. Let's say you owe $5,000 on a credit card, paying 19% interest. Okay, the monthly payment's $150. All right, and you get an offer in the mail from like Bank of America, Chase, Wells. All right, one of them says, hey, you could transfer all that debt to our credit card at 0%. Okay, and we'll charge you 3% to do that. Okay, so you say yes. When you say yes, they do the transfer. Okay, you can have them do it, or I think you can do it yourself. I have personally never done a balance transfer before. Okay, it never made sense to do it in my situation. So I get a lot of questions on, Denzel, what is the best line of credit? What is the best HELOC? Which one is better, a HELOC or a line of credit? Denzel, what's the best this? What's the best that? There is no answer to that. You know why? Because every financial situation is different. The point is, if you can absorb the fundamentals and apply it into your numbers, and then you have an accountability partner to help you out, then we find the best product, the best tools for you. So for me to say, hey, the best line of credit is bomb and this and that, it may not be for you. It may be for me and some others, but not for you. So I hope that helps, brings that clear. Coming back to this right here, balance transfer, right? We made the move, all right? Now, some cautionary, some alerts, some things to be aware of, all right, is that you must pay a debt when you do a balance transfer. You can't use the money for anything else. It has to pay whatever was owed, okay? you may not be able to transfer debts to the same company, right? So example, Chase to Chase. If you got 2 credit cards with Chase, I don't think they'll let you transfer the debt between the 2. Why? Because you're saving money. So, you know, and they're losing money. So I don't know if they would allow that, okay? I've never seen it done. Majority of the time, they probably won't let you do it. If they do, cool. If not, that's the typical thing. The other thing is, be sure to pay off the debt that you just transferred to this credit card before the expiration date, or you're going to get killed on the interest and hence remain in debt, okay? Which that right there is the trap, okay? Because now that it's at 0%, guess what? The monthly payment is going to be a lot less than $150, okay? So here you are paying a lesser monthly payment each and every month, and then come 12 months, boom, it expires, and now you have all that interest tacked on to that very next payment. You don't want to do that, especially with store cards, okay? They might say 0% deferred. Okay, deferred is a bad word, okay? Deferred. Did I spell that right? I don't know. You don't want to defer anything, man. You don't want to defer these types of debts, okay? Not good, okay? Because then if you don't pay the dang thing off, guess what? All that comes back, bites you in the you-know-what, and you remain in debt, okay? Another thing I want you to be aware of is when or if you're going to do a balance transfer, avoid any annual fees. You don't want an annual fee. You never want any annual fees on credit cards, okay? I don't care how good the points are. In my opinion, I think if you just learned how to increase your income, okay, and do velocity banking a little bit better, hey, never have to worry about those big $500, $300, $100 annual fees on credit cards. I mean, I just don't see the point, because that annual fee, even though you get points and yada yada, maybe it just offsets, okay? So, and then on top of that, you might have to spend a few thousand just to get the points. So you spend more money, hence go in more debt, because you spend more than what you needed, just to get a little free ticket somewhere or some sort of cash savings, to then pay that fee right back the next year and do it all over again. Kind of puts you in a bit of a what? A trap, where you have to keep spending money every single month, every single year, and you got to worry about those fees. So, hey, does balance transfer make sense for velocity banking? Let me give you a case, an idea in your head where it did make sense, okay? I have a lady that has like a Navy Federal credit card, or USA, one of them, right? Has a big credit line, okay? It's at 0, okay? I think she had like 25,000, okay, at 0, okay, 0 balance. And I'm looking through all her debts, right? I'm like, all right, how can we increase cash flow? She doesn't have the line of credit yet to do velocity banking. It made sense for us to transfer some debts over to a 0% interest credit card. And then we're using another credit card, okay, to do velocity banking with, where we're dumping some, not all, of our income and cash flow and the monthly payment itself, expenses that we can pay with a credit card, right? We're putting majority of our income into that credit card to bring that balance down. And it just so happened that mathematically we would pay off this particular credit card, zero it out, our cash flow would go up right around the time that this expiration date expires, and then we would be able to do what? Boom, put all of our money on that other credit card that we transferred balances to, this 25K. right, is basically this one right here, right? So we had a credit card over here, right? And we owed X amount of dollars, right? Got a credit card over here, we owe X amount of dollars. We have a credit card over here, we owe X amount of dollars. We're doing velocity banking on this credit card right here. We did a balance transfer, okay, a balance transfer to this 0% credit card. Paid a minimal fee to do so. Yes, with me? Paid a minimal fee to do so. At the same time, we're doing velocity banking over here. That balance goes to 0 before the expiration interest on this credit card, right? And by the time that expires, this is done, cash flows up. What do? We redirect, we make a transition where now we're using this credit card to do velocity banking with, putting our income in, taking expenses out, keeping cash flow in, and such on and such on. So that right there is it was a very complex scenario. Mathematically, it made sense. I'll tell you this, if you do the math, all right, whether you're looking at a balance transfer, okay, or in the next lesson, we're going to go over convenience checks, which is something that I like, okay, for credit cards, or the best alternative for moving debt, okay, shifting debt, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. The best way, in my opinion, is what, class? Get you a line of credit, a HELOC, okay, where we can shift debt in the form of chunking, which is velocity banking. My name is Denzel. Hope this helps you out. Stay focused, stay positive, get results, stay on track, make sure you're making your chunks, build your credit score so that you can get to the line of credit, so that we can get the hell out of debt and live the life that we want to live and create legacy and wealth for our families. If you want to work with me one-on-one, check out the description below. I have a lot of resources and services that I can provide to you one-on-one, to all my wonderful moms and dads and young people, millennials as well. Have a wonderful day. God bless.